I have a big pile of books that are my set texts for this course for this year. And I also have 4 textbooks. This year the course is split into 4 blocks with 4 different themes. So I'm just going to chat about the books that I have as set texts, ones I've already read, what I thought. It's literally just started chucking it down. I hope you can hear that rain because that is so cozy. These book covers are actually so nice, especially like the literature and the environment and the literature, escape and imagination covers. These textbooks correlate to my paperback books. Book 1 of the module is literature, identity and representation. So the 4 books, which I have actually read 2 of, because it's the first module, I wanted to get a jump start. So I've already read 2 of the 4. I finished this one yesterday. This is Colson Whitehead's The Colossus of New York. I hate that this is like the shiny shit, cheap copy printed like paperback, but you have to have the exact ISBN number so that the pages that they're referencing in the textbook and online correlate with the actual book. So I had no choice. Otherwise, I would have found a nicer copy. But anyway, this is a collection. It's a work of nonfiction. It is a collection of essays about New York. This started off really strong. I thought I was going to love this. I thought it was going to make me want to go to New York more than I already do. But then it kind of lost itself a little bit. I think about halfway through, it sort of just became a little bit too generic. Like this could be any major American city, probably actually any major city in the world, and still be somewhat applicable. It didn't really feel like it was that specific to New York as the book got further and further on. I did enjoy the start of it though. I did enjoy the writing style. It was there was almost like a beat to it, which was interesting. Didn't love this, but it was okay. Maybe if I'd been to New York, or I lived in New York, or I had more of a personal connection to New York, it would be more enjoyable. But yeah, if you are a, what do you even call them? A New Yorkian, a New Yorker, pick this up and see if you like it. I read this during the summer. This is the longest book for the entire course, so I read this just to help myself out because it's 550 pages. This is White Teeth by Zadie Smith. This is a work of fiction, a very long work of fiction, set across the 70s to the 90s in London. We followed basically 2 families for the main part of the book. This was okay, didn't love it. But again, because these are books, so I kind of like my course because it pushes me to read things that aren't my usual style, or I don't know, branch out a little bit. I haven't loved either of the ones I've read so far, but it's always good to read out of your comfort zone. Then the 2 that I haven't read, well actually, I've tried to read this before. This is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I've started this before, didn't like it, but that was quite a number of years ago, so I am going to obviously have to try it again. Hopefully I prefer it this time round. I just got this bookmark the other day in this bookshop. It's so cool. This is what the bookshop looked like. I'll put a picture of the bookshop as well. What a cute bookmark. So that's my new, I haven't started it. That's just all the notes that are at the front of the book. So that is going to be my next read. And then lastly for this block is Sylvia Plath's poems, Ariel. Okay, so this was published posthumously in the mid 1960s. And apparently this is what like made her famous, obviously the bell jar as well. But it says after this publication, Sylvia Plath became a household name. So this is a collection of poetry. I don't read a lot of poetry. It's not something that I am very familiar with. So I think this will be quite interesting. And I am looking forward to reading this. What you tend to find with these courses, though, is that you don't need to read the whole thing because they will give you certain poems to pick out and focus on and analyse. So I don't know if I will read the whole thing. I might if I enjoy it. We will see. Book 2 is Literature and the Environment. So I am most excited for this module. I think I will enjoy it the best. I really love nature. I just feel really connected to literature and nonfiction that's theme is based around nature and the environment. So I'm very much looking forward to this block, and I am literally just obsessed with the cover of this textbook. So the set text for this one, there is a poetry book that I haven't ordered because, like I said, they usually don't need you to read the whole thing. You'll just pick a couple of poems from the text. And the one that is set is like 500 pages, and it just felt like a little bit of a waste. I didn't really need it, considering I would probably only pick 1 or 2, a handful of poems from the book. So it's lyrical ballads. I think it's actually quite an old text. So I don't have a physical copy of that. But the two that I did buy is Patiki by Patricia Grace. This is a New Zealand novel. This looks to me like it is a work of fiction. It's a Penguin Modern classic. It's looking at a Maori community and something, it says the prophet can sense that something's coming, that something is about to change. I have been to New Zealand and I'm very excited to read this. I think it sounds wonderful. And it's quite a lot of the books on this course are actually quite short, other than White Teeth. I'm really, really looking forward to reading this. I don't think I will get round to this. I think, yeah, this one doesn't need reading until sort of November to January. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to reading this. Also have, I believe this is a work of non-fiction. This is No Far Shore, Charting Unknown Waters by Anne-Marie Fife. This is a travel and literary memoir blending poetry, prose, research and recall the maritime sensibilities of love writers, from Herman Melville and Emily Dickinson to Virginia Woolf and Elizabeth Bishop. That sounds really good. Both of these books I am very, very excited to read. I'm actually interested to see how that poetry book that I haven't bought, Lyrical Ballads, how that ties into these two. So this is quite nice actually. I've got fiction and non-fiction and then poetry for the nature block. I can't wait actually to start that block. The third book is Literature, Power and Politics. Not my favourite topic. I don't tend to love political text, political topics and themes. It's just not my favourite. I always feel like they have a little bit of a negative aura air to them. But nonetheless, I must study it. So again, this course makes me read stuff that I wouldn't normally choose. So the books in this one, there's one that I didn't buy, which is Measure for Measure by Shakespeare. Again, because usually I always find I have to find like a translation. I haven't got enough fingers to do air quotes. There we go. A translation, or not translation because it is in English Shakespeare, but you know what I mean, where they explain what he's actually saying, because it's literally like reading a different language. Anyway, so I don't usually buy the text because again, they will only want you to focus on one act, one scene, and I just find that easier to do digitally. So I didn't buy the book because I knew I wouldn't use it. It's a waste. But the two books that I do have, again, one fiction, one non-fiction. Fiction title for this block is Gravel Heart by Abdul Razak Gurna. This, I believe, what country does this book come from? I'm not sure. Let me Google it. It says he is a Tanzanian-born British novelist and academic. So I think this book says it's set in the UK and Zanzibar, I believe. Yeah, the main character moves from Zanzibar to the UK, and it's something to do with his family. Yeah, I'm interested to read this one. It's probably comparable to White Teeth, some similar themes, I imagine. I haven't read this one yet, so we'll see. And then the non-fiction work is George Orwell's essays. Obviously, we know he is a political, opinionated man. We'll see what his essays are like. Again, I think I'll probably only have to pick a couple out of here, but I will read the entire book because sometimes it's good to have a reference of the theme and like what the other essays are referring to when you're analysing just one essay. Did that make any sense? I don't know if I said that right. Anyway, so they are the books and obviously the Shakespeare play for the third block. And then lastly, I'm also very excited for this block. This is block 4, Literature, Escape and the Imagination. That literally just sounds like the perfect deep dive into what books and literature can do for us. Again, I really love the cover of this textbook. So the set text for this one, let me go back. For fiction, actually Utopia might be non-fiction, I'm not totally sure. Forgive me if I sound like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about with these books, because I don't. They were set texts. I ordered them from Amazon. They arrived at my door. Here we are. So I actually don't know much about any of them, because they're not books I've had on my radar. They're not books I've been wanting to read. They are set texts. So yeah, I don't know all that much about any of them. So one of the texts is Isabel Allende's The Stories of Eva Luna. I believe this is a collection of short stories. Absolutely criminal book cover. But again, I had to get the copy that had the correct ISBN, so I didn't get to choose a cool vintage cover. So here we are. The one that I think might be non-fiction maybe. It says, Thomas More gives us a traveller's account of a newly discovered island where inhabitants enjoy a social-based order on natural reason, justice and human fulfilment. Oh, maybe it is fiction then. Anyway, this is Thomas More's Utopia. Don't know a thing about it. I really don't, but We will find out. I have 2 classics. I have Mary Elizabeth Braddon's Lady Audley's Secret. Oh, look, I've just... Gosh damn it. Oh, spiderweb. That's how you know we're getting to autumn. You drop something on the floor and it comes back with a cobweb. Anyway, Lady Audley's Secret. This is definitely a work of fiction. I don't know what it's about. And then we also have Frances Hodgson Burnett's The Secret Garden. I did actually already own this. I got bought this for my birthday. Haven't read it. Again, a classic work of fiction. So that is all of these set texts that I have to read for this year. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the TMAs and basically have a look at the questions, what it's looking for. So then when I read the text, it's easier for me to pick out what I need to be looking for, just to have an idea of the topic, the theme, the question in mind. I like to sort of go through it. So you're going to join me. So I've now pulled out all of the essential information for the TMAs, written up in a document. So now I'm going to add the TMA dates to my Google Calendar so that I'm aware of when one is upcoming, because it's easy to forget.